My name is Kevin, and I'm from Minnesota. And I'm doing this live stream to talk about the importance of learning and how I learned in school and about life. I was adopted when I was 6 months old. Um, my mother, Arizona, raised me, and she adopted me as her own. 6 months old and with special needs. She had a lot of patience, and she had the level of understanding that that is very important to have. When you have when you learn at a different level, it takes a special person to understand um, how to help and how to address the needs. Hello, Lot Lot. Thank you for being here, my friend. Um, my mother, she was a very understanding woman. She had a lot of patience, and she knew instinctively about how to raise me. She knew what I needed, and she planned out my life. She wanted to ensure that I made it, you know, to graduate high school. And with her knowledge and her level of understanding, she was right on point in regards of how I learned as when she was helping me, like with walking, um tying my shoes. Excuse me. At Teacher Chrissy, thank you for being here. Hello. um Feeding me, and just starting out with me at a young age. She sought out the doctors when she needed a help to understand, how my condition. Hello, Jesse. Welcome. And that was very important to her, to know how to raise a child with special needs. I needed more support, and she sought out um, the help, you know, with her, um, with what she knew, and she was very determined to see that I made it, that I got the help that I needed, that where I could be a successful person in life. It was a lot of work. I would, I was very uh, hyperactive, and a lot of people didn't understand that. This was back in the 70s, and she understood what that meant. She understood that I was I was different, and a lot of people didn't realize or didn't really want me around. but she made sure that she found like safe spaces for where I could learn and grow with others. She never, gave up. You know, she said that this is my son, and I'm going to raise him, to be successful in life. And she did that through years of like research about my condition and going back to school to help me, when I was in special ed. She took the hands-on approach and she went above and beyond. She talked to the doctors and others, who could help her um, find out more about who I am, and how I learned. And she did a great job with that. And I just am very um, blessed, to have been raised by her. And she taught me so much about um, the importance of education. She never missed a PTA meeting. She never missed um, an event, a school event. She was always there to make sure that I get a higher education and I get treated equally like the other students. She didn't believe in, having me, like be stuck in, like in a room, where I wouldn't get a proper education. She made sure that I was with others. She advocated for me since 6 months old and up until um, I finished college. And that's the key. She stood up for me. She was my advocate. Excuse me. She was my cheerleader. And I'm very, very blessed for that. And I always remember the time where she had me um, go, I skipped a grade. I skipped forward because I was in kindergarten, and somehow she wanted me to go to first grade. And so she had a meeting with one of the principals, and they talked. And then the next day, I was in first grade. Hello, sports pods. How are you? Thank you for being here. So, what I did, what she did, was she, set a meeting up, and the next day I was in first grade. And that was very important to her. She wanted me to, go to school all day, and she worked to provide me a proper education, and she wanted to make sure that my needs were met. And that was very important to her. And then I always wondered, you know, like when did she ever, get to sleep, but I realized as I was, going to school that she wanted me to have the education, a better education than she did. She wanted to see me be successful. She was successful, and within her right, she was very successful. Um, she grew up in Mississippi, and one school, um, how one school, you know, one room schoolhouse, and she, got her her education, as far as she, wanted to go. Um, and then, she had her own family. And then I came along and she said, I want Kevin, to have a better education than I did. And I want to make sure that he's treated fairly and treated equally. And that was the most important thing throughout, my growing up, is being treated fair and equally. And she stood up for me and made sure that the other teachers knew that I mattered, and whatever I needed, she wanted me to have that experience of a full education, an equal education. So um, through grade school and high school, we, mother and son, I went to school, and then we went to, when I had a event that different events throughout my time in school. She was there. She was there for when I when camping up north, and making sure that I got that experience, to go camping. Those are the things that are extremely important, when a child, is growing up. And in my particular situation, um, I, learned at a different level, but she made sure that I was treated with equality. And she made sure that the teachers, treated me with equality as well. She was there every day, making sure that I, got, everything that um, that I deserved in an education. And she did a great job. She never gave up. And I learned that from her about loyalty and always being there, and just, and um, helping others out, no matter, the um, level of education or what have you. Just in the main thing is treating people with fairness and understanding, and giving a person, an ear, just to, if they want to talk, if they have something if they want to get off their chest, they want to express themselves. That was her. She always listened to others, and she wanted to help. And she made sure her advice, she gave advice when asked, and um, and it turned out really well. But the thing and the thing is she made sure that I was front and center. There was no in between. I was just as important as the other students in the class. And she made sure of that. She was led by example. We went to a camp when I was 6 years old, and she was right along with me. We pitched a tent and we did the camping thing, and she always made sure that I, had a voice, and she encouraged me to learn all I could and participate in all activities within, in my educational um, endeavors throughout the years. um, and then in high school, she still did it. She was going to school to learn the new math, if you will, and she she went to night school, and then while I went to when I and then um, when I was in high school, I was poor in math, so she helped me with the math, when I needed help, and we she was patient, and I just remember her, you know, making sure that I did my homework, and that I understood what the lesson was. And she always, stressed to me that um, advocate for yourself, when you're at school, and if you need help, ask for it. And that's what I did. And I learned that the main thing is to stand up for what you believe in, and when it comes to opportunities, I was I was encouraged to go for what I wanted. When I was in high school, I was had the opportunity um, to um, go to college for like a trade school. I wanted to see what I wanted to do. I did a 1 year of college, and I applied for a scholarship my senior year. I landed the scholarship, and I went to a school here in Minnesota. I stayed at home, but the main thing is I applied for the scholarship and got the scholarship so I can advance my education. So self advocacy was the key motivating thing that she, stressed, and and just enjoy school, which I really do. I enjoyed school and college as well, and so I've learned a lot. And so, and then now it's like it's the same thing. It's a continuum of learning, and I am very blessed, to be here. And I want to thank everyone here, in YT. Thank you, everyone here in my live stream. I want to thank you for your understanding and your support, and for always being there and giving me advice that will help me um, continue on, and in life, and to enjoy life, and help others along the way. um, I'm very humbled that here now, um, my mother, she left a legacy, and I always remember what she always told me is to keep your reputation, keep your name um, clean, and make sure that you do the right thing and treat people right, and you can sleep at night. And that's the motto that she left with me. And um, and just help others if you can, and just and leave a legacy. And so, and I want to um, say that my family backs me up, and so I'm very, very blessed. So much is given, much is required. And so, with that being said, it's my um, time to share my knowledge from what I've learned and help others achieve their goal in life. And I'm very blessed and very happy. And so, but I want to thank everyone here for all your support and being understanding. I love you all, and I'm going to wrap up. I'm gonna go to bed early, but thank you once again for being here and being very supportive on my live stream, and thank you for listening to my story. And I hope to see everyone um, soon. And I hope everyone has a great day or a great evening. And take care. From Minnesota, Kev 5. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.